Hey everybody, I appreciate you stopping by the channel, listen to me ramble on here for a few minutes. If you're anything like me, you're probably pretty excited for Call of Duty Modern Warfare and are counting down the days. Well, the other day while discussing my thoughts on Modern Warfare with my brother, I found myself reminiscing about past Call of Duty campaigns. We talked about everything from the badass choice-based campaign of Black Ops 2 all the way to the change-up that was Infinite Warfare. So while out at my local GameStop, I found a used copy of Call of Duty Ghosts and said, why the hell not? Now, I want this video to serve two purposes. Number one, to maybe convince you to play Ghost in preparation for Modern Warfare's release. And number two, to let me kind of reminisce about what a good time I had with Ghost back in its heyday. So I got the game home, I installed it on my PlayStation 4, and I found myself jumping right into multiplayer. Which was weird for me because back in the day, Call of Duty Ghost was one of the exceptions, but I usually was a campaign guy myself. But, you know, me being spoiled with living on my own and having my own internet now, that's pretty much all I play when it comes to Call of Duties as a multiplayer. So I jumped in and I found about 450 people playing on the Team Deathmatch playlist. And there was about 850 total online. So I started up a game and you're seeing my first game back in the background. That's the background gameplay. Is my first game back. After at least 5 years, easy. I was about 14 when Call of Duty Ghost dropped, and unlike the rest of the world, I actually enjoyed the game right off the bat. I really didn't think it was that bad, and I didn't think it was too horrible. Now, there were some things bad about it, but we'll get into that a little later in the video. Nowadays, you'll find everyone go back and say, was it really that bad? You know, you'll find a bunch of Call of Duty YouTubers trying to reminisce back on it and talk about it, and I guess I'm doing the same thing, but unlike them, I enjoyed the game back in the day, but then again, I didn't have a YouTube channel back then, so I played Ghost nonstop on the PlayStation 3. It was a while ago, multiple accounts ago, so I have no idea what prestige I made it to, but it was a good couple. I think it was at least prestige 3, but that's pretty much all I played back in the day was Call of Duty Ghost when it came out. Now, with the history lesson out of the way, I wanted to talk about why I think you should play Ghost if you're waiting on Modern Warfare with bated breath. So starting off is the fact that this was Infinity Ward's last boots on the ground Call of Duty. So you'll be getting their signature feel that no doubt will carry over to Modern Warfare, no matter how much tactical sprint they add in the game. That includes the slide that to this day remains one of my favorite movement mechanics from the Call of Duty games. I like it a shit ton better than the dolphin dive from other Call of Duty games. Modern Warfare also brings with it large, non-symmetrical, non-arena style maps. So basically what that means is every map will feel like a real place that you could visit in real life. That was started way back in Ghost, believe it or not. As you can probably remember if you played it, or if you didn't, you can kind of see it in the background. These are large maps that look like they could be a real place. So that's kind of where it started, was in Call of Duty Ghosts. You can see a bunch of Ghost ideals bleeding through to Modern Warfare, as we'll talk about. And I will bet, until it comes out proven otherwise, that they were trying to make Call of Duty Ghost 2, and Activision pulled the plug on it and said change the name. So, another thing that Ghost had that Modern Warfare will have is the extensive gun attachments and customization options. Obviously, you won't be jumping into some fancy three-dimensional customization menu for your guns and Ghosts, but there are huge similarities when it comes to the attachment options. For example, you can see that there are 16 attachments for the Remington R5, ranging from red dots to thermals to ACOGs and your standard foregrip grenade launcher, and I think you can put a shotgun on there too. You can equip a muzzle brake, a silencer, and a flash hider on the barrel. Now obviously it's not 60 plus attachments or whatever over the top number Infinity Ward is thrown out there, but throw on an ACOG and a single fire with a foregrip, and you have yourself a pretty reliable single shot rifle. Point being that it may not be to the extent Modern Warfare is going to bring, but you can see where they started with the idea when it comes to gun customization. I mean, there's select fire, like I said, ACOGs, long barrels, that kind of stuff. There's a few quality of life features I'd like to highlight too, notably the kill death on the top right hand side. Always on screen, that way you don't need to open some obnoxious menu that takes up your whole screen just to see your KD and what position you are in on the scoreboard. We can't mention the Modern Warfare similarities without talking about the tactical lean. The best friend of campers and the bane of every running gunner. Obviously there was no mount option in Ghost, but much like the gun customization we just talked about, you can see where the mount kind of got its start. The minimap is also larger than normal to help accommodate the larger maps. This was also one of the first Call of Duties to introduce the new scopes, where instead of a scope with a black border around it, you would still be able to keep your peripheral vision, albeit blurred, but still there. The flash grenades too, with the wind-up timer and the reticle. Same with the grenade. No need to count seconds when you have 4 nice neat spots that fill up the longer you hold the grenade. That way you can time it easier and make sure you don't blow yourself up. Now, specific callouts were another feature in this game I really enjoyed. Although not even close to the amazing battle chatter of Battlefield 4, it was still cool to hear teammates call out specific locations of enemies across the map, saying like second floor tower, second floor building. It's been more than one time when I was playing the game that I heard that and was able to take out an enemy because of it. And moving right along with the comparisons to Battlefield, Call of Duty also tried their hand at a pseudo-levolution style system where certain parts on the map could either be knocked over or destroyed to alter the map in some minute way. It was small, obviously not on the grand scale of, like I said, Battlefield 4's massive skyscraper, for example, but something different for the Call of Duty series regardless. I think the most notable one was a gas station. You could knock over the big old canopy. That was pretty much the biggest one. There were some walls and stuff too. You could set a charge on and kind of give yourself a new avenue to look down on the map and everything else. I did have a few gripes with the multiplayer I'd like to address. The flinch, in my honest opinion, was way too high, and that translates over the campaign too. From the gameplay we've seen in Modern Warfare, it looks to be pretty tame. It's also worth mentioning that this was the first Call of Duty to release on both PS3, Xbox 360, and the next generation consoles, the PS4 and Xbox One systems. And despite the upgraded hardware, the game looked smoother, but the overall port was unimpressive, and the PS4 version is the gameplay you're seeing in the background. Especially when it comes to the Create a Soldier, it's still kind of rough textures, that kind of thing. IEDs are another annoying feature that were super annoying to get killed by, as you're not really looking out for them, and they were everywhere. And not much, you can get away from them, but it's not the easiest thing to do. Kind of like the bouncing beds in Call of Duty World War II. The knife lunge was ridiculous as well, and I got killed and got some kills multiple times with that ridiculous knife logic. Multiple times my opponents and I knifed air and scored a kill. I will say, the little animation that played when your knife landed was cool, though, and I'm excited to see how executions go in Modern Warfare. I'm also very, very happy to see no knife as the default melee. It's kind of like you just hit with your gun, it takes 2 hits up front to kill. And an execution from behind, of course. Now, you're going to be seeing the microtransactions in the background, and it's hilarious as hell to see them. Back to the days where when you bought map packs, they gave you weapons as well. Or you could direct buy the weapons for a few dollars. That goes for the customization too. There were a huge amount of skins for this game. Direct buys, mind you, no loot boxes, ranging from Captain Price to Soap to Makarov, and almost every campaign character. Now, your elites like Captain Price and Makarov were a few dollars more, but they came with camos, reticles, calling cards, instead of just the character. They were all for a few dollars. Whereas now, and I'm sure a few months from Modern Warfare's launch around Christmas and after Christmas, you'll have to gamble for a chance to get decent customization items. So moving right into the Create a Soldier system, it was one of my favorite parts of Ghosts. There's just something about creating your own character that just resonates more with you, makes you feel more, immersed. I know it sounds silly for a Call of Duty game, but I mean, it's your own person. You create your own soldier and you fight with them and you earn gear for them. And I think it works better than operators. This is pure speculation, but if the operators are, purely cosmetic in Modern Warfare, then why have operators? Why not just let us create our own people? I imagine, and like I said, pure speculation, but what if they were having specialists? That's why they had set characters. And then once they saw the uproar and the support for the Bare Bones playlist, they ended up pulling the specialists and just leaving what they had behind. Like I said, pure speculation, but, considering how Black Ops 4 launched is not too far out of the realm of possibility. Excuse me. I loved it, Create a Soldier in Ghosts, and I loved it in Advanced Warfare. But that's going to wrap it up. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. I cannot thank you enough for all the support. Please, it helps me out a lot if you would leave a like and subscribe and consider sharing my videos. Alright, take care.